Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host, Matt, and with me this week is our pro gamer, Mike.
Damn it, I forgot what I was going to say. Hold on. Something Zeta slow. So Zeta slow. There we go. Show me Nanamoto. That's spoilers for 10 seconds from now, boys. Super Zeta slow. Let's go.
Okay. And a retro aficionado, Unoclay.
That's a teaser for the game I'll talk about in a few minutes. How you doing?
I thought it was our country's Independence Day, not Halloween, but sure, go with whatever the monster movie is.
It is America Week. All right, I'm glad. There you go, Matt. There you go.
Canada has their Independence Day like right before us. It's like they won up. Like
we gotta.
Right. I'm glad we both celebrating freedom.
Exactly. All right. I forget how I started this podcast now.
You want to do this thing called the goatee tournament. That's how you want to start it.
The goatee.
Yeah, let's start off with the game of all time tournament.
By now you know the drill, but if you're some newbie just joining the show, at the start of the year, the four hosts of Just Another Castle each named our 8 favorite games of all time. Then, every week, 2 games go head-to-head, and the winner advances to the next round. In the end, 31 games will fall, and 1 game will rise above the rest to become Just Another Castle's official favorite game of all time. If you want to see the current brackets, head over to www.challenge.com/justanothercastle. That's challenge with an O. Also, sometimes our votes result in a tie, and you listeners can help settle the match. If you want to be part of the fun, follow Just Another Castle or the Mango Viking on Twitter, and you might get tagged to throw a tie-breaking vote. Leave luck to the heavens, and leave the pasta casserole to Matt's sister.
Oh, it's really cool. It's really cool.
So last week was, we started our second round, and it was Wind Waker versus Final Fantasy IX, and Wind Waker took the game 3-1. And now this week is The Last of Us versus The World Ends With You. Apparently they're both Eli's voted games by a process of elimination that we've figured out. Which is funny because apparently Eli doesn't even have to be on the podcast for his games to win. It was literally, I think, one time it didn't win. And now he's guaranteed to get one of them in, so...
Well, he's also
just vote for
losing.
neither
So
of
how's
them
it feel to
and then
lose,
we
Eli? How's it feel to lose? Alright?
Well put.
So, I don't know if any one of us, wants to do our 30-second pitch or if we should just vote.
I'll pitch for both. I played both, unlike you plebeians. You know?
Okay.
So, alright, I'll do 15 seconds for each. And Last of Us,
Sure.
terrible.
Right.
The World Ends
Go.
With You, alright. The World Ends With You, pretty cool DS game that a lot of people didn't give a shot. Really a lot of unique controls. I don't understand how they're ever going to port it to another system. Great story, great character design, made by Tetsuya Nomura, Kingdom Hearts Final Fantasy VII guy. Last of Us, I got that midnight release, super hyped because it, Uncharted turned out to be poop on a stick or a bit worse. So yeah, done pretty easy choice for all the humans out there. Last of Us had zombies that you kill more humans than zombies. So how is the zombie game? I'm just throwing that out there. All right, and yeah. If you like that game, then you have no brain. Also, yeah.
So if you like that game, you are in fact a zombie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. I like that.
I don't. Wow.
So Mike, who are you going for? Because I don't.
Who am I going for?
Yeah.
I'm going for my boy Neku Shiki in Kingdom Hearts 3D. You know what time it is. The World Ends With You.
Nice.
All right, 1 vote for The World Ends With You.
All right.
Good. Great.
Good.
Well, Matt, why don't I go next, and you can be tiebreaker because I know
Sure.
you're really good at it and love it. You love being the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
It makes for great stress.
Oh god.
All right, give me a timer and.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, I did play with The World Ends With You because it was so highly regarded among many fans. I'm going to give a spoiler alert and say I sold it.
Spoiler.
Because I was like, it's pretty repetitive. That is, as many longtime listeners know, something about RPGs I find pretty boring. That the game loop is like menus and like clicking the same thing and doing the same thing and grinding, and I find that really boring. Haven't played The Last of Us. I've watched some gameplay videos. It's kind of hard to avoid that game for a year or so, and watched a few in preparation for this video. It looks like there's a lot of narrative and talking in it, which would be a negative for me for sure. I don't really get into that in games, but I do like shooting in zombies, so it's going to edge out World Ends With You for me, even though I didn't play it, just because I suspect I would like it marginally better, or even a lot better, as long as the cutscenes can be skipped and I don't have to spend too much time listening to NPCs talk to each other because I just don't care at all. I'm just like,
oh, you were a fool, because that's all that game is then.
there's lots of shooting from what I saw, and
Oh no! Hey, I told you, you barely shoot any zombies, dude. You kill more humans in the game than you do zombies.
that's fine. I'm down with killing the humans too. I mean, it's fine, whatever. A 3D environment game is more interesting to me, even if I don't like it that much, than an RPG after a few hours. Because after a few hours of an RPG, it's just like menu, grind,
Mm-hmm.
Upgrade your stats.
The RPGs are all about stories, bro. After the gameplay, it's all about that. Yeah. Also, there's no 3D. It's Final Fantasy 13. It's corridored.
Yeah, I played a lot of it. I didn't finish it because then it like looped into a second game quest or something, and like.
No, I'm talking about The Last of Us. It's corridored. It's not 3D.
Sure. Oh well, I mean like more like an adventure 3D environment type thing. I get
what you're saying. Okay.
That's just more interesting to me in general. It does look very story heavy, but I have a feeling I would probably play it and marginally like it better. It's not like I have a strong opinion here, but I'll go Last of Us just to make it interesting and give it to Matt to solve the dilemma. So Matt, you love the tie.
Don't worry, I hate you. You're pulling your mic moves.
I mean, I would have did the tiebreaker if you guys would have wanted to. I played both. I have no qualms with either game other than one of them is absolute garbage. And I wasted my time.
No qualms, except I would clearly go for one in particular.
I just have a little bit of a bias that's a huge bias. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
No, I'm not doing it to be a mic. I really feel that way. Like, after watching gameplay videos, I'm like, it's not like a big win. I'd probably vote against Last of Us against many, many, many games in this tournament, but given the choice, I like The World Ends With You was cool. I get why people liked it. I like the DS innovation of it, but it's not something I'd ever go back to with any fondness. I'd be like, I get it. I did this for like 10 hours.
But you didn't connect with any of the characters or the story and all that, or I know you didn't finish, but
I know it sounds insane, but I don't care about any of that stuff so little. It's like I click past it as fast as you can. I'm like, I don't.
Okay. See, that's fair. That's why I can understand why you don't like RPGs. Like, if that does not, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't, like, connect or you don't like the story of it, then it's literally you just hitting the same button all the time. And, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what happened with me in Pokemon now, where it's just, like, I don't care because, like, the stories aren't deep and interesting, unlike games, like, for me, like, The World Ends With You or Final Fantasy, where I'm just, like, wow, like, I not only do I like and connect the characters, I care for the story and what's going on in the world around it. So, like, the gameplay is just extra for me. But I see what you're saying, Ag. You're like, I really don't care about this shit. I'm here to be like, yo, this is effing fun, and I kicked ass. How do you guys not know that? And I get what you're saying from, and that's why you're not an RPG guy.
I go through story in almost every game so fast. It's got to be so bizarre. Like, if it's weird as shit, like Suda 51 or something, I'll watch it. Like, I like stuff like that, where it's really bizarre. Like Bayonetta, I know you hate it, but Bayonetta's got an insane, bizarre storyline. So I kind of watch it because I'm like, this is so weird, I'll watch it. But otherwise,
yeah. See, that's why I was like kind of confused. But I'm like, you like Bayonetta because of the gameplay and the intuitive, like the wacky, like extra combat of it. The story is just a plus for you in that, like, cause you're not looking for story in most of the games. And I was gonna ask, I'm sorry, Matt, to cut you off. How do you feel about Chrono Trigger then, since you're a Super Nintendo classic guy?
I tried, man. Like, I played about like one quest of it, like one time loop, and got bored of it the same way. Like, I was like, this is a great game, but and maybe I'll go back to it someday because I know it's so legendary. Like, it's kind of on my radar of like maybe play a little more of it someday. But yeah, it's pretty RPG-ish, you know.
Yeah.
But I know it's like one of the top of all time, so I definitely have given it a shot before. I didn't hate it because I like the artwork in it, but other than that, it was
the Dragon Ball Z creator Akira Toriyama made the artwork. But yeah, I was actually very curious because I was like, like if there's anybody who likes and knows about the Super Nintendo, it's definitely you. And I'm like, is that like the one RPG that would have been like your?
I've tried.
But
I'll go back to it maybe something because I know you have to like go through all the different time phases, and it's like really awesome because of that. So it does sound interesting in that way. But yeah, Matt,
Yes,
we've given you enough time to say.
we've delayed long enough.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't need the time.
What a guy! Oh, what a guy! He's like, yo, I didn't need that shit.
I'll just start. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so I have technically only played one, which was The Last of Us, but I did look up some videos on The World Ends With You. Like I said before with The Last of Us, I think it's okay. I don't think it's like mind-blowing or anything. I'd say it's good about halfway through, and then the rest of it, you don't really need to scrounge around or whatever for supplies, which was like half the fun, like rationing your supplies because, you're in an apocalypse. So that's what
there's
kind
more
of made it
supplies than you would think.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like partly why I liked it. The story was, I didn't really care for it. It just seemed like any other basic zombie game story to me. Like, whatever, everyone's dying and these people you don't really know are dying, and I don't care except for like one set of people. But also with The World's End With You, I was looking up some gameplay, and it also seems like it's funny because Unoclay brought up that Last of Us looks really story heavy, and I'm looking up gameplay for The World Ends With You, and I'm like, where's the gameplay? Like, this is a lot of story. Like, someone has 20-minute chunks, and there's like 2 or 3 battles. I'm like,
I think it's hard to record, Matt. Like, you can't, because you have to record both screens, because both screens happen simultaneously.
Well, they have both on the one screen.
Oh, okay. I never knew how to record DS. Like, I know how to record the 3DS, but I was like, I never knew how to record a DS. So it's just very strange. And obviously they've made it in a way where you can play it on iPad now, and it's coming to Switch.
Yeah.
Spoilers,
but,
I guess you guys know.
Yeah, I don't know. The gameplay, I guess, seems interesting, but it seems like it's really story heavy, and I don't know. These Japanese games can be really weird, and they can either be interesting or just too much story, an overload of story where it's just like, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. So for that reason, I think I'll give it for The Last of Us, just because
I hate you, Matt.
Gameplay and action involved.
You know how much gameplay and action in The World Ends With You?
Not much. I got like a couple battles across like an hour.
Dude,
apparently.
You literally have to play the game with different partners. They force you to do it. You think the game ends once and it goes on again, and it's ridiculous. You can't play that game where like, oh, I'm gonna lie down and play the game. Like, you literally, it's so unique where you have to use the D-pad and the right finger button thing at the same time while looking at 2 different screens, so you can able to connect them and make sure you have combination attacks at the same exact time. Like, where's Eli? Like, he's gonna be really upset when you guys say this.
I'm sure he will. Not.
He will.
He's like, oh no, my game won.
Oh, wait, so who does The Last of Us advance on to go fight? I can't believe you guys are. I can't believe you guys are.
It will fight Wind Waker. So it'll be 2 of Eli's games again.
Yeah, well, I'm more disappointed that we let The Last of Us win 2 times.
I know.
Granted, they had to fight against like Muppet.
Well, it fought against Smash Brothers, Wii U, and now The World Ends With You.
Yeah, I mean, come on, that's not fair. It had to fight garbage ass games. Okay, what a free ride.
Well, let's put it this way: at least the next 2 more people would have played. I think it's only Unoclay that wouldn't have played. Well, Unoclay didn't play The Last of Us, but the rest of us, 3 of us, played.
Zombie game with no zombies. That's what he wants to play. Let's see.
Anyway, I think that'll wrap that segment up. So The Last of Us wins, and we'll move on. We'll start. Jeez, like 10 minutes in. We'll move on to what we've been playing this week. And I finally beat a game that I started before E3 and didn't really have much time to play.
You beat a demo? Let's go, man.
Yeah.
You hacked the demo, got the full game. What a guy.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I know. I started God of War before E3, and then I was, trying to get some videos at the last second and got busy. And I finally, got around to it after that. And it's a long game. Apparently it takes like 25 hours to beat. I swear I've spent like 35 somehow, even though I didn't really do many side quests. But it feels like it could have ended at like several points, but it didn't. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But anyway, I beat the game. I actually really liked it. I was concerned because, it looks like it's following the Uncharted and Last of Us trend of you walk down a linear path and it's narrative. I wouldn't say it's narrative focused, not so much as the other. Like, there's the narrative is obviously like a focus, but it's not more of a focus than the gameplay compared to, let's say, I don't know, Uncharted or The Last of Us, maybe. So yeah, pretty much any concerns I had like that, or the up close camera might have seemed like it'd be a bit weird because you'd get attacked a lot, but they have enough indicators that that's not really a problem. I thought having attacks on the shoulder buttons would have been stupid, but honestly, it's not. The way they made it feels pretty fine. Basically, you can attack and move the camera at the same time. So even though the camera's close, you can adjust to find. Yeah.
Matt, could you just say what game it was again? I missed it entirely.
God
I've just
of
been
War.
waiting for you to say what it was. God of War.
Sorry,
okay, I missed what
yeah.
you said at the outset, and I was thinking the whole time.
Dad. He meant to say Dad of War. Yeah. Come on, God of War is the first game on PS2.
Back on track here.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, man.
No,
Matt, you could have just said boy.
Yeah, I've been saying it all the time when I'm playing it. It's just fun to say boy.
Boy.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of surprised that my concerns I had going in weren't actually concerns at all. It's a really good game, a lot of fun with it. What was I going to say? The only problems I really had was they don't really address, like when I asked Eli, who said the same thing, they don't really address like why Kratos is in this world and how he got here specifically. It's just like, he's here now.
Wait, really?
Here's the reason, yeah. So that kind of sucks because it'd be nice, but they do. Well, I don't really want to spoil anything, but they don't. Let's just say they don't ditch the past games.
Okay. Oh, they tie it in somehow?
Yeah, they do. It's just not like, here's why Kratos left the Greek mythology. But they tie it in.
So you eventually get to have sex with some kind of like prostitute, is what you're trying to say in a code, right? That's what you're trying to get at.
No, not this time. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it.
Boy out of 10? What's your rating?
Dad out of boy.
Dad out of boy.
I guess, so anytime you have some sort of side character, especially if it's a child or just an escort mission type of person, you usually get kind of nervous, like, oh man, I gotta lug around this weight. It's annoying. But he's not really. He actually like adds to battle. You can shoot arrows and stun people. He can automatically attack other enemies, and he has different summons, so that helps as well. And they talk when you're going throughout the world, which adds to it. And I wasn't really fond of him at the beginning, but like after so many hours, I was actually like, hey, this kid's kind of cool. I don't hate him or want to throw my axe in his face. So that was kind of surprising that they made an interesting character, at the very least tolerable, but like the character that you kind of care for. But yeah, I don't know if you have any questions on the game.
Let's see. Like, I mean, I did play God of War 1 on PS2 like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's no prostitute sex regeneration scenes, I'm already half out. But like,
he's saying I'm already tapped out, man. I don't know.
I know. It's like, come on, like literally the best part of the game. But like, no. I played it like at a kiosk for like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seemed like,
dude, if you don't like that God of War, I don't know how you've ordered The Last of Us then. Because
it seemed okay. I literally played 10 minutes. I mean, I didn't get a feel for it. It seemed okay. Like, I mean, I was like running around trying to like kill stuff and try to kill the boy, and this boy's following me, and I couldn't kill it. And I'm like, I guess I'm doing the controls wrong. So I died. I fell off a cliff on purpose, and then I this kid was following me again. So I tried to hit him in the head with like, I threw something away, and it never came back. And then I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. And there were guys with arrows shooting at us, and I tried to like hide behind the kid, and that didn't work. And
Using
then
as a meat shield.
I was like, I need a manual, so I stopped playing at that point.
Oh,
so I guess my question is, did I do it right?
Clearly, yes. Yeah, no,
I don't know.
You can.
How many hours was it to finish it? Like mostly finish it or whatever? Because I'm always curious.
I don't know, because
these days
PlayStation is dumb and they don't have a system apparently on the PS4 or Yeah, they don't have a system across the board where you can check how many hours you put into a game.
Oh,
They did on PS3, I think. Not this one, apparently. The developers would have to put it in, and they didn't because I checked. But I'd say probably 20 to 30 hours.
Right on.
Yeah.
Mike, you played it, right?
God of War? Nah. My boy's a huge God of War fan. He played it. He enjoyed it. Eli played it. That's what you're thinking of. Eli, I think he was the last guy who finished it or played it or something. So, I've only played God of War 2. So the only Dad of War. I mean, it's not Dad of War, so.
That's prior. That's pre-Dad of War. I played that one too, probably, but I don't remember it that well. I think I got it and loaned it from somebody and played it a little bit. I'm still pissed off because my copy of the original somebody borrowed from me and never gave it back. I know it's probably $1 if I would go to a bid for a PS2 game or whatever, but because that game sold like 1 million copies, so it's like whatever. But I'm still annoyed that the guy borrowed it from me and then he turned into a total dork and I didn't want to hang out with him anymore. And it was like, oh wait, he's still got my God of War. Well, I'm not calling him again. So yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, do you think it's loyal, Matt? You played the originals, or at least like are familiar with them enough?
Like a little bit.
Okay. I mean, like, do you feel like it's a worthy reinvention of the series? I guess is what I was going for. Like, is it loyal to what God of War was in a modern interpretation? Yeah. Like, I mean, is it worthy? Like the way Doom had a big change to get over to become the modern Doom that it is, but it's still pretty cool. It's like it's legit. It's just really, really different. Also, at the same time, you know.
Yeah. I don't know, because I'd probably have to be like a huge fan to make that kind of claim.
I see. Okay.
I think a lot of people or a lot of fans that I've read weren't really so stoked because it doesn't have much of less of a combo system than the other ones.
Okay.
But I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Sure.
I think it was a good choice to like have a different weapon. I mean, I think everyone wanted them to go into like a different mythology anyway, and they didn't really have much left they could do with the Greek one because they basically killed everyone.
Okay.
But I do like how they had a different weapon, and the axe is like really cool, especially because like Thor's hammer, where you can call it back.
Right.
So
right.
I think they did a good job there.
It seemed a little obvious to me, to be honest with you, but it's probably a fun gameplay mechanic. But like even I, as a casual Marvel movie watcher and not much of a like God of War fan, was like, holy shit, are they serious? Like they're just taking Thor's hammer, you know? Because I played it for like 10 minutes and was like, oh, it's Thor's hammer, I get it. Like you know, and it was kind of over obvious, but as long as it seemed fun, I guess that's the main point. So there you go. Yeah, so that's cool.
And it was interesting to see Kratos is like, look, I've gone through some shit. I'm just gonna like have resolve, or whatever the term is. Like I'm not just gonna go angry and like murder everything on instinct. I'm just gonna be like, let me hold back a second, and I've done this enough. I'm not gonna like. There's a part early enough in the game where a character is like trying to punch the crap out of him, and he's just like taking it. He's like, don't even start this boy. Like, don't even start this dude. Like, and just takes it for a bit. And then, you know, they kind of have a twist. But it's interesting to see him be like, you know what? I'm going to hold off. Let's just not go crazy unless it's totally necessary. So
Right. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, and then I'll quickly jump into another game I brought up, or I've been playing. I'm almost done, basically. It's called Splitter Critters. I actually bought it for my flight on to E3, but I didn't end up getting around to it. It's a fun... I don't even know how to start. So how the game works is it's a puzzle game. It's kind of like Lemmings, where you have different aliens and they have to follow a path to get to the goal. In this case, just a UFO ship where they can fly away. And how it works is you control a little like BB-8 R2-D2 style robot that bleeps every once in a while. And when you slash across the screen, or use the buttons to do it, you can cut the screen in half and actually slide one half parallel to the other half, and then you basically kind of cut the world into pieces so that the aliens can cross different sections. So let's say there's a gap
I'm watching a video of it right now. This is really unique. Yeah.
So like
Wow.
there'll be a gap between two platforms, and you can make like two different cuts in the shape of I think it's like a V, so that like you can move the pieces closer to each other, and then you can reset them and cut different parts and things like that. And then they add all sorts of mechanics like different enemies that can kill your aliens, and one that can attack those monsters, and lasers and things like that, and really changes it up. I think it's only like $10 or something, and I think there's like 5 or 6 worlds, or let's say like 50 something levels. So I'd say it's worth your money. But if you like what it looks like in the trailer, you'll enjoy it, because that's basically what you're getting. But fun little game to check out.
It warms my heart that someone of your age, much younger than me, would know what Lemmings is and speak of it as though people should know what it is. Because
why don't they?
Because it's such a seminal video game. It's such an important video game in the history of video games, and but I would just be like, I'd be afraid if I used that as a reference with the podcast crowd here, people would be like, Lemmings? You mean like what you make lemonade out of? And I'd be like, no, no, not at all. It's completely different. No, it does look cool. It looks like a really unique game mechanic. Like this idea, you don't move the characters, you cut the screen literally, and then move parts of the screen around. I can't think of a game like that. It looks really unique. Like I'm watching a video, like I said, on YouTube right now, and doesn't have enough depth to sustain that concept over like a full game. Like I know it's not like a 100-hour game, but that would be my first worry. I'd be like, it's one mechanic, it's really clever. Do you get sick of it after a while, or is it clever and kind of they keep kind of innovating on that premise throughout the game?
No, I say it's clever. Each world has a different mechanic. So one of them is obviously just a regular world. One is introducing water. So there's different. Of course. Rise different levels of water.
Gotta have that water.
Different enemies and aliens that you get. So there's some aliens you have which just walk directly across. There's a yellow one that you don't even have to have it like directly beside each other. You can just have a platform lower. Like let's say it's on one platform and the next one beside it is lower. It'll just jump off to it. So you don't even have to have them that close. So different things like that change it up. The only problem I have is sometimes it can be really spotty. It's like, oh, I move these platforms close to each other. It's like, nah, I don't want to make it seem as if it's connected. I'm like, it is. Just jump.
It's connected. Yeah, it's connected.
Do it, dang it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like a PC game.
But
for younger listeners who are listening and thinking they never knew what we meant by the Lemmings reference, I guess I should have commented, like, if you're not familiar with Lemmings, but you're a Nintendo fan, you would know it as March of the Minis. Is like what Lemmings is on Nintendo. Like Nintendo's ripoff of Lemmings is March of the Minis. So so you're talking about like a March of the Minis game where the main mechanic here is like moving parts of the screen around instead of the characters. You don't directly control the characters. You manipulate the environment to get them to their safe goal.
Yeah.
So
and you can only move you can only slide a certain distance, and you only have 3 different cuts. But you can like reset them after they move to the next platform. So I mean, you can have as many cuts as you want, but certain areas, you have to work within that limit. So it's not just like infinite, but I'm liking it.
Good stuff. Looks like a cool game. Yeah, $10. I mean, like I March of the Minis wore me out on these kind of games a little bit. If they had a true like Lemmings reboot, I might play that. But like, this does look like it has a neat mechanic. $10 might be a little high for me for something like that right now, but at the same time, I don't know. Like if you're in the market for a puzzle game, you could do worse from what I see here. So
and the levels aren't too long or anything. They're short, so it's a good like pick up and play kind of game.
Right, nice.
And so I guess we'll move on. Mike, what have you been playing this week?
I haven't really been playing anything. I did pick up I picked up Mario Tennis, and I picked up.
Sorry, let me just interject. I said $10 because I figured that's what it was. On the eShop, it says it's $7, so it's even cheaper.
Cheaper,
And I
even
don't think
cheaper.
I don't think they show sales on the actual Nintendo website if there's sales going. So I think that's just the standard price, and then it could possibly be lower. But yeah. Anyway, back to Mike. Sorry.
Yeah. So I just picked up Mario Tennis. Just arrived today.
Nice.
And I also picked up Ys 8. The Christmas of Dana. All right.
Yes.
So the game that Clay knows all about because he's played so many of them.
The Ys, the good old Ys. Yeah, hell yeah.
Wise, right?
Why know you game, Mike? Why know you game though, bro? What's going on? What's happening in your life?
No. I was doing doctor stuff, and then the usual oversplotch and some Xenoblade, but I take too damn long. Xenoblade, I'm just like,
oh my god,
just don't care sometimes, and then the other times I'm all like, I'm like, okay, let me play this game. 12:30 when I'm in bed. And I'm like, oh damn it, nothing happened. You know what I mean? I keep playing the game not at a normal time. So I'll just be like, easy sleep.
Yep. Welcome to adult life, my man. That literally is a factor you're gonna have to contend with the older you get. Like wow, it's 12:30 at night. Guess I'll play some games for a few minutes. Like
Like I mean, I rather I'd rather play Overwatch, or I'd rather watch something than waste my time getting more sleepy on Xenoblade. But I mean, and if I am up till 2 a.m., I'm probably not playing Xenoblade. I'm probably raging at Oversplotch, man. But I'm gonna be starting Ys tomorrow. Get some Mario Tennis going. I mainly got it for the online, but I really enjoyed my time with the demo. So and I got it for like $5 off.
Nice.
And
nice. One of my good friends that's he plays more sports titles than me, but he especially likes the Nintendo type sports games. Like he's one of my old friends for Strikers and stuff like that. He got the tennis game, and he said he really likes it so far. He said it's deeper than I played the demo. I thought the demo was pretty cool. I don't really have time in my gaming schedule for that game right now, so it's not like a must play for me. But it did seem cool. Like it's got that rock paper scissors, fast thinking, like kind of. I was terrible at it. Like for the record, I was like getting my ass kicked like up and down, like just from my time with the demo. I was like, Demo King, that's Matt. I'm like Demo Schwing. No, that doesn't make sense. Like, but it was awful. But I did like the gameplay. It seemed. Yeah, I'm a demo peasant over here. That's true. That it's so rare I do a demo and then I do terrible. I'm just like I'm not built for this demo scene, bro. But it seems cool. You got to keep us posted on your get some online play with it and let us know if you're schooling people, get some videos up or whatever. Because I'd like to see some like advanced play in it. Because like we were just playing the demo for that weekend.
That is so complex, though. All right?
Oh man, yeah. There's some Twitter videos of people going crazy with it.
Oh really? Because I haven't looked it up, but like I didn't even know if the people that were beating me were good or not. I was just like, I get it, but I'm not doing it fast enough, and I'm not charging correctly, and I'm always getting beat. Like I get like 1 point off them, and then they deck me, and I'd be like, all right, shit, like I'm not getting this, and I gave up too quick, so I didn't really dig into it deep enough. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts after a week or two of playing it.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, there's a lot to think about. I mean, I had fun playing the online tournament, even though like I heard like you kind of just cheese your way in a few things, like just use the special for things I can't hit. You know what I mean? Special thing. But I'm excited. I like there's a simple mode as well, so you can just play regular Mario Tennis as well, and I want to see what the mission modes are about. Like, I haven't really played Mario Tennis since 64, but everyone says the GameCube one is the best one. Even though GameCube had like all the best Mario sports. I mean, it had Strikers, Superstar Baseball, and it actually had Mario Party 5, which had volleyball and hockey, which is really fun. Yeah. But dude. So I'm excited. I'll let you guys know. I'm probably gonna start off with Ys, but mainly I'll just be playing like online stuff of Mario Tennis. So if I get any good games or learn how to get good or lose to Rosalina, you guys will be the first to
lose to Rosalina.
You guys will be the first.
Let's not debate that again. Good God.
It's okay. We can play doubles and I'll be Rosalina.
Oh, I'm getting hot already just thinking about it.
Gosh.
Who was it? Someone was saying they had a crush on her. I think it was Mike.
It was
It was
Eli.
Mike. it was Eli.
That's Eli. That's Eli's
crush.
that's Eli's waifu, bro. That's his girl.
Yeah, it's too funny. I'm not gonna be able to unsee that image.
Like, you just don't get it, you old man. All right, I'm backing up Eli on that one. All right, definitely.
Dude, she just has got no personality. I go for Daisy like
yeah, I'll give you that. But I like pre short hair Daisy. I'm all about that long hair Daisy. You know what I'm saying? All right.
I can't even come on with this conversation. Oh my god, this is too good. All right, gotta get that Daisy. I hear that.
All right. Okay, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? All right, I'm here to correct James Rolfe's misinformation he's been spreading amongst you young'uns who watch videos on the internet.
Lies and slander.
Lies and misinformation. At the GameCon I went to a few weeks ago, I had like kind of, I go in there. It's a big like shopping and tables, like mini mart, like a flea market type like situation where you can, if you're hunting something, it's a good place to hunt for, especially rarities. You're gonna pay more, but you can check it out in real life. So it depends on your thing. But at Too Many Games, I went in there with my list like I do every year, and me and my friends were having that night. We're having we're gonna have a game jam, like stay up late, play games. My friend was like, I'm gonna get Doritos for real and Mountain Dew for real. Like we're gonna be totally ironic. And it was great. We didn't do any of that, but we did play games, and I wanted to get stuff from multiplayer. And so I got Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the things I picked up, which is not a hyper expensive NES cart, but these days it runs around $40. I suspect partly because of notoriety through sources like AVGN reviews, because that's one of his earliest videos, and it's one of the really funny early ones that everyone remembers seeing Nightmare on Elm Street from Angry Video Game Nerd early on, because he did like Jason, Friday the 13th, and Freddy back to back. And of course, it's his early years where he's like straight up Angry Video Game Nerd, just like trashing everything, like nothing. He never has any redeeming comments about anything. He's just like, it sucks, donkey poop, like the whole time, which is how he made his name. And I love his videos. But I have noticed as I get older that I'm like, you had no objectivity to your reviews whatsoever. It was just like you looked for something and then hated on it really hard. And I am here to tell you that Nightmare on Elm Street is not a great game, but it is not terrible either. And it does have the LGN rainbow on it, which he's partly responsible for getting that meme out in the public of like, if it has LGN rainbow on the box for a Nintendo game back in the day, it was awful, which is true for many of their games. But that game, interestingly, apparently was co-developed by Rare, who made amazing games. And it shows because there's neat mechanics in the game. And I don't expect everyone to remember, AVGN's review from back in the day. It's your standard. It's the one, if you remember anything from it, he's got Mike playing Freddy in it. So there's like a lot of Freddy running around in the video. But he also takes a dump on the cartridge. It's in a lot of the trailers for his videos. It's like the straight up like giant pile of brown poo flying everywhere cut like that he did. It was one of the first times I think he ever did it, if not the first. And check the wiki, kids. But the game's kind of fun, and it's 4 players if you have a multi-tab for it, which doesn't really need it because it's it's kind of like a platformer, kind of like run left to right. You go in different rooms and you're searching for Freddy's bones. It's basically the plot of like Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which is the one, if I remember correctly, where the parents, they have to find Freddy's bones and put Freddy to rest. And so they're kind of ripping off the plot for part 3 instead of part 1. But nevertheless, you can play it 4 players at a time. I think the game would be a lot easier doing that, because that night we played it a little bit. It was kind of hard because we didn't have a manual, because I just got an unboxed loose copy of it. And we had to look it up online, and we were just getting drunk and we weren't really paying attention. So we just played it for a while. Didn't get too far in it. The music was pretty good. We noticed. We thought it like sounded a little better than normal. And like set it aside. So I've been playing with it since I got home from the con for the last 2 weeks, and I think I've gotten pretty near the end a couple times. But it's one of those classic NES experiences where you kind of got to grind at it, get better at it. You get 2 continues, Contra style sort of, and then you're dead. Like, so you got to get good enough at it to finish it in about 9 lives, more or less. And it's cool. I mean, I don't know. If you're looking for something to play on NES, you could do worse. That is for sure. Maybe I have a little bit of like, I know I have a little bit of like thick skin for like how annoying old games can be because I grew up playing them, and things that are inherently annoying to some people aren't going to bug me as bad. For instance, limited continues, or for instance, some of the things Nerd, I'll kind of wrap it up, but some of the things that Nerd hit on are true. He's like, you can't figure out where to go when you start the game. You're kind of like wandering around a map and you don't know where to go, and you got to figure out which houses to go in. And it's confusing because the houses don't have any indication of which one is unlocked right now. You just kind of have to try every house, and eventually you'll find one that's unlocked and go into it, and then you'll be in a level and you'll be playing the level, and you finish the level and you come back on the street and the same thing happens again. You're like, where do I go next? That's true, but it's not a very big game, and with a tiny bit of persistence you can kind of get past it. So I don't know. I feel like I wanted to correct the record on that game. It's unfairly maligned a little bit in the like, oh, it's LJN Rainbow, oh, it's a licensed horror game on Nintendo. Of course it's going to suck. And like I said, if you're looking for a multiplayer game for NES and a platforming multiplayer game with a little bit of obscure stuff that you can figure it out with a tiny bit of effort, like it's kind of fun. I don't know. It's got good music. It's got really good soundtrack, like in terms of an NES like soundtrack. So that stuff does a lot for me. It's like, and the production values are not terrible. Is it laughably stupid at parts? Of course. It's freaking NES. Like, Freddy like jumps around the screen like he's like a he's like I think AVGN says he acts like he's blind, and that's true. Freddy jumps around the screen like he's blind, like he can't see you, just slashing his claws. But that's like every NES boss. Like Ninja Gaiden has bosses like that in it that are like, they're not really attacking you, they're just doing a pattern and you have to learn the pattern. That's all it is, So I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I actually get a kick out of playing it. Like I keep going back to it because it's got just enough difficulty that you can get better at it. And I got to like the 5th level. I think I beat the 4th boss last night before I wiped out, and that was the furthest I'd gotten. And that is what I look for kind of in old games like that, because I don't like games. I can't say I don't like super hard games. I do, but it's much more likely I'll stick with a game, obviously, if it has a little bit of a difficulty curve you can conquer, than a game that's just insanely difficult, like Silver Surfer, where famously one of the hardest NES games of all time, like you just die and die and die, and you would have to practice for years not years, but you would have to practice for a year to be any kind of decent at that game. This is not that, So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, not as bad as you might have heard from some very famous internet sources. So there you have it. Not something I bet you guys are going to play anytime soon, but hey, if you're ever on your NES messing around with 4 players,
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know it was multiplayer. Yeah,
me neither until I looked it up. I was looking for games specifically like that, and I was like, that sounds like the funniest thing I could buy that's multiplayer. Mm-hmm. So, and that gets into the deeper game of it. Like, I mean, because once you're in Dream World, you can collect icons to give. Again, it's the plot of Nightmare on Elm Street 3 for people who know the movie series. In that movie, the kids learn that they can dream themselves as warriors. It's called the Dream Warriors. So it's a really cheesy plot. I don't even think it's that good a movie. A lot of people do. I think it's kind of dumb, but like they can dream themselves into being like a ninja or into being like a warrior or whatever. And that's the plot of this game. When you're in Dream World, as long as you collect certain items, you can become different characters. You can swap on the fly into different types of characters. And it's a platforming game, but now you can become a character that's like a ninja with throwing stars, or now you can swap on the fly and turn it into a character that's more like an acrobat with like a throwing dagger and stuff like that. So, so there's fun. I find it fun. I could be wrong, but hey, I'm not. So that's my review.
All right, nice.
Good review.
Yeah.
Jack Skellington OP. Not blame.
Nice. So what else? What else is in the news this week?
Let's get on to some just quick announcements. We were talking about, it was either last week or the week before, about Smash, and all the characters are returning, and it's almost close to having all the stages to an extent, but Nintendo ended up coming out and saying not all stages are returning. So that's just a quick thing. They also I think Sakurai
Any
said
guesses for the stages that are not coming back? You have any guess?
I don't know.
Miiverse.
Well, that'll be the easiest one. But
It's a bummer.
who knows? They might put in more. They might have almost as many. Man, I can't even talk. All the stages aren't returning, but it might. I don't know. It's possible that it might be closer than one would think. Anyway, because with Smash 4, Sakurai was saying like, oh, not all stages will have an Omega form or whatever, and that ended up happening. I mean, granted, that's easier to do than making all these stages return, because you're just making a flat platform in that case. But who knows?
It's a bummer, but the Ridley stage isn't going to come back because I love that stage with the Ridley Hazard. That's not coming back. So
I don't see that coming back either because of it.
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Maybe you could just say it's some. Who cares?
Wishful thinking. It's not coming back. Sakurai's too nerdy
it's
like that.
Different,
He'll be like,
I guess.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
think it
roided
weird
up, ugly Ridley,
twice.
And it looks different. Who knows?
I hear you. I hear you. Wishful thinking. I think it's not coming back, but I would like to because I think that's a great stage.
Yeah.
Hey man, we'll see. We'll see. And maybe Final Destination and Battlefield aren't coming back. No, I'm playing.
That's what I was gonna say. Final Destination's got to go.
It's gotta go. All right. Like, what is that? The basis for all their online mode? Yeah, it's going. It's gone.
It's gotta go. Gotta go. I don't even know. Like, I mean, like some of those, I really liked that they brought back the 64 stages, like that you could play some of the 64 stages in Smash 4. I don't know if they appeared previously. I think they probably came back before that, but those stages are janky as hell.
Well, I like that. Yeah, they brought back Saffron City. I love that. That's a great one.
I just think those could use with a redesign. Like, it might be heresy to say that, and I accept that. Like, but I'm just like, these stages are clunky as crap. Like I don't know. You could lose those, and I wouldn't cry if we had to make cuts, or something like that. I personally hate the Yoshi's Island stage, or I don't know which stage is it, where it's like a V, and it's got the Super Mario World type blocks that when you kick them they flip over.
There's Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's Story. Yoshi's Island has Randall the Cloud, right? And what do you call it? And Yoshi's Brawl has the V thing with the ghosts, if that makes sense. They look like ghosts.
It's the one with the pipes that are make like a V in the center of the stage, and then
that's Yoshi's Story Melee. That's Yoshi's Story Melee.
That stage is my least favorite stage because I'm always falling through those spinny blocks in the center, and having to deal with that.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about, and then like the center when it falls off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it, Mario World. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like Mario World blocks, like in the center.
I don't like that one either.
That is one of my least favorite stages because it's small, and I'm always like spinning those blocks by accident and falling through them and having to deal with it. And it's just like, for me, too small of a stage. Lose it. Because one of my friends loves to fight on that stage, and I'm like, I just personal hate right there.
Looks
no.
like it was in
Mike,
4, so it's probably coming back.
Well, I rarely play that level. That's a non-legal level. Just a wall jump, damn it! Pick a character like a wall jump. You big.
What stage, Mike? As a formerly pro Smash player, like what stages do you? I mean, I know everything that's tournament legal. Like forget about tournament legal for a second because
I told you my favorite stages were most of them are on the 3DS, dude, and Melee. Like the house one, whatever, Mortimer Island, that's coming back, and the house one, Miiverse House, Island House.
Life.
Yeah, I like the Tomodachi Life one. I like the Beach House level in the 3DS ones. I also like.
What do you want to see them lose? What do you want to see?
What do we want to lose?
Yeah, what do you not like as someone who plays at that level? Like, other than just forgetting tournament legal for a second. Like in general, stages that you could see go. I think you said something about you didn't like Wrecking Crew. I think I remember you saying.
Oh yeah, dude, I don't like that stage at all. I just think it's not. But they might be different now. They added attacks on ladders. I'm just saying. I hated that Pokemon stage that would go with Dialga. That would do it. That would just.
From Brawl and flip it.
Yeah.
You just turn your head upside down for like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's gotta. Dude, every time he does that though, I'll be like near the edge, so I'll be like, "Oh no!" and then I'll just kill myself because I'm already I'm never on stage when Dialga decides to change the game.
I like
know?
that. I like that feature. Like, I hear you. Like, as it is, it's almost always a death for somebody, but that was a hilarious feature. I
And
have to
it's
say I
really
loved it.
fun. I just hate it because I was always the guy who got the bad luck out of it.
You're
So
the guy.
I'll forever be mad at it.
That's cool. Nice.
Oh, I have an
Yeah, I don't
easy
know.
pick that I think everyone would agree with. The Pac-Man stage on Wii U that looks like a Microsoft Paint drawing.
Oh,
Drop it, it sucks.
the walkthrough one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No,
no,
it
that
sucks.
was.
Put it in
Can't
the
agree.
3DS
You,
one.
there's
That's
a
it.
really fun way you can play Little Mac no jumping in that mode, or like super fast speed, and you can keep trying to go to the end,
Mhm.
and then so it's
Ah.
like you're just platforming instead of actually like playing the game or whatever.
You are in good company to hate that stage, Matt, but that is Pac-Land, the original Famicom game.
Yeah.
That's how it looks, number one. Everyone thinks it looks
Oh,
like, yeah,
I'm not.
it's like
I know, but it's
that's
still
the
ugly.
graphics, like from that game.
I
I
mean,
hear you. I like it because it's more of a platforming game. I've explained it exactly like Mike said it to people when it shows up and they don't have it unlocked on their disc. I've had that happen, like in my house. You're like, "What is this?" Like, and it opens up because it's one of the. You have to do something specific to
And
unlock.
to do like an event or something. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. Like it's one of the harder ones to get to open up. And I tell them right away before it starts, I go, "You're gonna die a lot. You're gonna be pissed, but it's more like you're supposed to play Super Mario Brothers right now. Like, just forget about fighting me. It's a fast stage.
Like, yeah, unless you want to do like, oh, I'll grab you like at the ledge. Well, I mean, not the edge, like the left side of the stage while it goes down. You know what I mean? Like some bullshit like that.
It's tough. It's tough. And I like the mechanic because it's not like I can think of any other stages like it. Because when you do, I don't know if you've played it enough to get a return trip, but when you make it through the stage to the end, if you get there, it returns. You have to come backwards through the stage, as you probably remember.
Mhm.
But then you do it again and again, and it gets faster and faster and faster and faster. And so it's like,
I didn't know
it's
that.
it's like because after you make it back to the beginning, it says round two, like a video, like a classic video game. It says round two, and then it's like starts, and it's just scrolling faster, and you're like, "Fuck me, this was already hard," So it gets
Yeah.
chaotic, Especially
That's why I said you could do like the Little Mac challenge and just do
That is
platforming
really
of that
funny.
one.
So
that is
I would-
really funny, like Little Mac. That's awesome.
I would
Yeah,
say
because
for,
like the last part of it is like this all cloud area, and
Yep, that's
It's,
where all the lives go in the pit. Everybody goes in the pit.
Yep.
Unless you have like a double jump, like triple jump situation with some character, you're dead. Like, and I'm always zero seat, so I'm just like, I got this, no problem. I'm just gonna ledge grab the shit out of this. See you guys, but maybe that's why I like it.
I would say I would rather have Mushroomy Kingdom instead of that one for like a platforming stage. It's like the first level of the first Mario game and then the underground level, but it looks like realistic. The one from like Brawl.
Oh,
The
that
one
one. I
from
like that
Brawl.
one too. I like that too. I mean, if you're talking about an auto scroll stage, sure. I think that's a far more popular stage. Like,
Which
for most
one?
people.
Wait, the melee Mario 64 Airbridge one?
Brawl. It's
No,
in Brawl.
yeah,
It looks like it looks like new Super Mario Brothers, basically. Like
I'll just
I
show
can't
the-
remember it.
I'll
To save my
link it.
life.
This is the 3DS version, but you get the gist of it.
it's a great
Okay,
stage. It's like it looks like you do like 1-1 and 1-2, and it scrolls and scrolls like never ending, sort of like the Pac-Man stage. So it's totally an auto scroller, but it scrolls slower, which is probably a reason most people would like it, and has less.
Oh, dude, that stage is great. Yeah, that's an OG stage. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I can't believe I forgot about that one. I was thinking the Mario 64 not Delfino, the Mario 64 airship one. That's what I was thinking.
Totally.
But yeah, I don't mind the auto scrolling levels. I mean, I don't see Poke Floats coming back, to be honest.
I don't know.
I can see-
it
I can
might
see the
just 'cause
Pokemon
people are
Stadium
going
coming.
crazy about it, but I wouldn't care about. Yeah, I guess that's another one. I wouldn't really care about Pokefloats.
Yeah,
I'm
like
trying to-
Poke Floats. Oh, you don't know that one, Clay. It's melee, but
It's a melee. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I'm looking at the picture of it right now. I don't know the stage. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the great
it's,
thing. Like melee, that like unknown frontier for me, where I'm like, oh, look at this. I never even saw this before. Awesome.
yeah, it's like you got all these giant Pokemon. It only goes upwards the stage. It doesn't go left to right like the other one.
No way.
Oh.
How cool. What's the name
Mhm.
of that fat cat in the middle of the stage in one of the graphics I'm looking at? What's the name of that cat?
Fat
It's like a
cat.
sleepy. It's like a gray cat looking Pokemon. It's like sleeping on the ground. It's got like its mouth open. I don't know.
Never
I thought
heard
it
of
was
it.
a famous Pokemon.
Wait,
it's
what
like a big
stage?
fat-
Oh,
It's it. I'm just looking at. I just
Pokefloats.
googled Pokefloats, and it's an image that came up. Like, maybe it's not a stage that I'm
Snorlax,
looking
is
at.
it like green and white and sleeping with
Yeah.
its mouth open?
Yeah, it's kind of like greenish blue. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
that's a
Snorlax.
Pokemon you get in the game in Smash. How do you not even know
I
that
don't know
one?
his name. I don't even know his name. I have a paperclip of him on my desk here. That's why I didn't know what he's called. Like I got it in Japan.
Bro, he's in every Smash game.
I know, but I don't know his name. I'm like, there's one of those pokey guys. Whatever. What up, pokey guy? You're not playable. See ya.
Pokey guys. I don't know you. I can't play you, damn pokey guys.
I don't know you. I don't even know you. Yeah. Nice. All right,
Don't even
Snorlax.
come here.
That's literally a paperclip on my desk right here. I got a Snorlax paperclip sitting next to a Splatoon squishy stress ball. So,
Nice.
nerd desk. What up? Nerd desk. Cool.
What a guy. He's got a Snorlax and he doesn't even know what it is.
I just thought, I call it a little fat cat paperclip, because that's what kind of cool person I am.
He's not even a cat. He's just a fat thing.
I know. I know he's a Pokemon, so he's not technically a cat, even though he looks a lot like a cat. Like, I know. That's how this works.
Yeah.
All right. So what else is in the news, Matt?
so,
Some stages aren't returning.
Yeah, and then the other small announcement or whatever is they're not making amiibos for all the Smash Brothers characters again because that would be insane, and I don't think the people who already bought them would rebuy them again. But the remaining veterans that didn't get one are gonna get one. So Snake, Ivysaur, Wolf, Pichu, Ice
Clay's
Climbers,
getting that
all those.
Snake amiibo. Yeah.
I don't know,
Probably.
maybe. So say them all. So who else are we talking? Ivysaur and Snorlax and see, I know who he is now. Just practicing.
What a guy. He
So
knows them
like
all.
Charizard.
There's all the ones that were cut before.
Charizard. I'm just trying to think who else. Like the Pokemon. Charizard and Ivysaur.
It was.
So do you?
Let me check. It
Uh,
was Snake, Ice Climbers,
Snake.
Pichu, Young Link, Wolf.
Well, isn't Young Link just a
Squirtle,
Majora's
and
Mask
Ivysaur. No,
amiibos?
apparently not.
Well, I mean, you need the extra money.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. I guess technically, but they didn't have like a Smash version. So
I
just
forgot
do
they count
that.
the different versions of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Forgot about that. Like just the Mario Party and the Smash version of amiibos.
I don't know how
Yeah.
they're going to do
Okay.
Pokemon Trainer, if they're just going to do them individually or if they're just going to have one with all three in the trainer, but I guess we'll see that.
Oh, you mean like the way Pikmin.
Yeah.
Pikmin has like the little Pikmin with him, but they're kind of part of his attack, so it's a little different or whatever.
Well,
like
they're also
not
like
individual
smaller,
characters.
so it's
Yeah.
easier to do that, whereas these are like bigger characters, so that'd be weird. They'll
I
probably
mean,
do them
it's
individually.
they've defied these logics before with like Yar and Yoshi and like the
Like,
Guardian
yeah.
for Zelda is like enormous. So
Yeah. Well, now they're
so
gonna do
they
Smash amiibos per every single move.
that'd be
And then you're
hilarious. Oh my god, that would be like the worst idea ever. Like oh my
You mean
god,
best
like,
idea ever, dude?
every pose, like holy crap.
Every single one. You're like, oh my god, how many more do I have to buy?
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely didn't complete the Smash series because I have no interest in a lot of characters of having little statues of them, and I get tempted. Like I really, really get annoyed every time. I was at the GameCon the other week and I saw the really good amiibo of the Metroid breaking out of the glass, like
Yeah, that was
Metroid
cool.
amiibo. That one is such a good amiibo, and I wanted to buy it. And they wanted like $30 for it, of course, because it's secondary market. And I was like, no, I'm not paying for another plastic statue. I got like 20 of these in boxes still. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even open 20 of them yet. It's like, no, I'm not paying $30 for this thing. But it looks so good. And like the Guardian, I lusted after several times, and I'm like, that is a fucking kick-ass amiibo because the art style of the Guardians is so specific. And then they managed to capture that art style on the Guardian amiibo, and it's not like hyper expensive, but even on eBay, it still sells for over $20. So it's like,
Yeah, it's
well,
not a cheap one.
yeah, it's big, and someone's got to ship it to you on top of that. But I want it. I don't know. Snake could fall in the Ryu category. You're classic to me, like classic game category, like where I want you in a way, but I'm not the world's biggest fan of your series. Like I like it a lot, but I don't love it. So do I need to spend the money on it? Because I didn't buy the Ryu one for the same reason. I'm like, I'm not a Street Fighter guy.
I mean, I didn't buy it. I mean, I want to buy the Cloud one just because I like Cloud. But it's just like
Right.
I'm like, I don't think 7's that good. I'm with you on that boat. But I mean, like,
it's like you got to pick and choose. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like there are so many. Like there are so many, and I got a significant portion, no Eli portion, but a significant portion of the original run. I don't know if there are any that I'm hardcore hunting anymore. I kind of wish I had a
I want the young Link amiibo, the one where he has the Goro mask, but he's like mad smirky. You know what I mean?
Is that the new one there? You mean for the new?
No. It came out when they released the Majora's Mask one. I think you just look up Majora Mask amiibo, and then
I don't even think I know those existed. Like I heard you say before.
Yeah, they did every type of Link one. So it's like they had the Ocarina of Time Link, they had the 8-bit Link, and they had and then Legend of then they had Ocarina of Time, 8-bit Link, Young Link, and like one other one. I can't remember.
Twilight
I must
have missed Princess,
that.
Skyward
And
Sword. They basically
Skyward
did like
Sword.
every of the art styles.
Yeah.
I totally missed that, or
they
forgot.
did a Link to the Past one.
No, they didn't do a Link to the Past. So it was those four that you mentioned. So it was 8-bit Link, 8-bit Link, Young Link, Ocarina of Time Link, and Skyward. I just never remember Skyward because
Skyward Princess.
Skyblur. That was the funniest thing.
Yeah, they have one of like basically all of them except for
Link to the Past Link.
That's because they didn't want to get into the debate. That's because they didn't want to get into the debate. Is his pink hair, right? Yeah.
That's why you released 2.
That's what we'd have to decide now.
No.
And people are going to be pissed no matter what we do. They're going to be like, his hair is not the right color.
It's a mystery box. Or it's a blind box where you can't tell.
That'd be great. Like his hair color varies in every box. Yeah, that would be freaking awesome.
Link's Skinner, or was it... What's not the Skinner box, the cat thing. Schrodinger's Link.
Oh, Schrodinger.
Oh, I get it.
It could be it's both, and it's not.
You just don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love how highbrow you went to get that joke. That's great. How
educated.
Kind of one of my friends that was like not that in amiibos, he fell prey for like 4 amiibos, and then he got mad at himself. I was like, I don't know why I'm buying this crap. I was laughing at him. I was like, because they're funny, they're cute. You know, there's stop.
I know how he feels. I don't know why I have any amiibos. The more I look at it,
I know we all know how that feels, but it's like just don't overthink it. Enjoy it. Like whatever. It's just what it is. But he was like, are they ever going to release? It's kind of like on the tip of you joking that they're going to release every pose for Smash. Like he's like, are they going to release? What he was basically asking is, are they going to release the other skins for the Smash series? Because he wanted a wireframe Mac.
Like you have to like custom order those. Like I've seen people who do those. Like I've seen like, you know, the Mr. L Luigi, or like, oh, I like cotton candy Mario color better, and like people like open shops just so they could sell those custom versions. I think Matt, don't you have a custom King DDD, or like one of the, like you took pictures of like a dead DDD or something?
No, yeah, there's a couple of different people who make them online.
Yeah, so you can always do it that way. Like, yeah, you got to pay double the amount of an amiibo, but like those are badass.
Possible, like, because that's like how do you do that? Because it's like so intricate. Because he's supposed to look like 3D wire set, you know, that
I'm
like
looking at
the old.
Now that's pretty cool. It's basically like a transparent, like clear one, but they drew lines over it. I'll show the website because there's I just googled it I just googled it, and some of them are just black or painted black with lines over it, but this one's probably this one's the best one easily.
Oh, I see some good images here. I'm clicking around my. Wow,
yeah, man. Dude. See, I told you, people do them with custom. Like, you know, they're really cool. Like, if you're like, wow, I like Waluigi Luigi better, you could get like one of those kind of amiibos. You know what I mean? Like that color.
Or you could go into the forest with all the other heathens because you want a Waluigi amiibo.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, he's Luigi for a reason. Okay.
That's pretty funny. Wow, I love it. Yeah, people made a wireframe Mac frame. I'll have to tell my friend if he wants to spend all the money, he can get it or whatever. So, neat. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, so only a few missing character amiibos. Like the Ridley. The Ridley's the most tempting to me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a huge fan of like classic Metroid, but I'm also not a huge fan of the idea of like we're gonna force Ridley to be tiny again just because
everyone complained. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm like, Ridley got bigger over time, and
he worked out. All right, how dare you get rid of his gains? I know.
made sense. Like, he's supposed to be a monster. Like, it's like now he's a little tiny 8-bit again, which the only reason he was only that size is because that was the biggest sprite you could make back then. Like, it was like, okay, like, we are just barely figuring out how to program this system. Okay, well, there's a boss. A boss is the same size as you. Go. Like, so, but yeah, I don't know. I'm up. I'll consider the Ridley one because it does look badass, and I'm like tempted right there. Snake, it's like I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get Snake.
Snake's so OG. I might have to get Wolf just because I have Fox Falco kind of thing, and I really want to get that R-Wing one that's coming out. I don't want the game. I just want the R-Wing because it looks really cool. Like, that looks cool. Like, that's something I could get behind.
Ridley's
buying one of those things. But yeah, dude, freaking
amiibos.
Yeah, dude. Here we are. 2018.
Yeah, jeez.
Here we are. Freaking amiibos. Still love them. Can't help ourselves.
Ridley's interesting because he actually has like an effect, like a shockwave on his amiibo. It's like, man, he's so big. Just stepping on this plate is just making it explode or cracking it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm into that if I can get it easily, and it's not like, because I keep putting it off with the new ones, like the Metroid ones. I wanted them, but I put it off because I was like, dude, I don't need any more of these things, and then I didn't get it, and then I'm like kind of sad about it, but I'm kind of not, like, that's another bunch of money for a little plastic statue sits around.
But the Metroid one is all squishy, dude.
What you should do is get the Ridley amiibo and the Metroid amiibo and have them like hold the broken case.
That'd be sick as shit. Yeah, dude. Like, make a little like playhouse for them, and I can make a little scene and like act it out.
You can buy little cardboard boxes like that.
It'll be beautiful. It'll be a little diorama. It'll be great.
Yeah.
No, we all know Clay just wants his Ridley amiibo and be like, this is too small.
I kind of do, but it's going to be kind of too small. It's true. It's going to be like, kind of too small.
Yeah, too small.
Like, where's my Kraid? Like, right away. It's like, you can't have Ridley without Craig in my mind. Yeah, where's Craig?
Freaking Craig, man.
Nice reference. All right, what else, man? We talked about our amiibos. The listeners are tired of hearing about amiibo. They're like, I'm over that.
The topic, I guess. There isn't really much news, so that's why we're kind of going into each thing more. But
yeah. Wait, come on. Clay, you can't call us out when you're part of the inside.
I know.
So Ubisoft has said they're gonna have more Nintendo collaborations with Nintendo, which I think we would have seen coming even if they didn't say it. But it's always good to hear, just to hear them reiterate it. So I was kind of thinking, what kind of collaborations would you like to see between them? Either something as big as Mario plus Rabbids, where they're both properties are integrated well with significantly with each other, or something like Fox is playable in Starlink, which is basically their own game and not really tied to Nintendo, but here's like a Nintendo cameo sort of deal.
Yeah. I was struggling with this when you asked this in the chat earlier, that I was trying to think like crossovers I wish they would do. And I was like, all I could think
sort of Rayman Mario platforming, bro. That's it. Yeah. I don't like anything else Ubisoft. Man. They're all trash. You heard about that Rabbids?
I'm gonna have a this, right? Like, I knew that kind of in my heart. I was like, he's gonna be like Ubisoft, like, no thanks. Like,
yeah, thanks but no thanks. Right? Yeah, I only like Rayman. All right, I'm an OG Ubisoft. I don't know if they did anything else.
I wish they would do like Animal Creed, like Assassin's Creed crossover with Assassin's Creed, like Animal Crossing. Like little cute animals jumping from the tops of buildings, like, or whatever.
Rather than like try to get them a couch so you could get like other stuff, you just stab them in the throat and loot their
You just time travel and like stab someone in the throat and get the couch you need and like the wallpaper and like come back. And it's it's great.
Your house is just full of corpses and blood.
You heard it here first. Assassin's Crossing. Yeah, I don't know. I know that because it seemed for like so are you asking more about crossovers or just series of like Ubi handles that like you'd like to see come?
Well, I just mean like it doesn't have to be their franchises, I guess, but would you want to see something as significant as like, hey, we have two properties, like we're gonna use Nintendo's properties like heavily, or just like, here, we'll throw one of their characters in a game, or whatever way you want it.
Yeah, that's tougher for me because like I can say like I do like Ubisoft games. The ones I've played, like I really liked what is it, Splinter Cell that came to Wii U. I'd never played a Splinter
ancient.
I know. It was great though. I enjoyed it. Well, it was Splinter Cell. It was a more modern one, but it was years ago. But it loaded very poorly. It was one of the slowest loading games on Wii U I ever played. Like it was unbelievably poorly ported for the load times. But it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. I had never played one of them before. I really thought it was cool. I loved the stealth. I loved the direction. Like it was very action heavy, and a lot of different ways to finish the missions. But if you're saying more like a crossover, they're an accomplished studio, and sure, Rayman's the one that's easy, good answer, Mike. I mean, like it's like, yeah, if they want to do a crossover where they do New Super Mario Brothers cross Rayman,
it's like Rayman Legends, Rayman Origins is really cool.
They're great. Yeah,
like,
they're great games.
So I mean, I would love to see some type of thing with that. I mean, Rayman also has 3D adventure games. I mean, I don't know how it would fit in with anything else. Rayman's just so wacky. Like I just can't see it with any other Nintendo like properties and all that. I mean, that's why people always ask. They're like, why is it always Rabbids or some shit? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like I just think they just can't find that connection, you know, of what franchises to use.
I mean, I think New Super Mario Brothers is a series that sells very well, and I'd be wondering if Nintendo would want to risk that, like sales, by crossing over with another thing that maybe isn't as familiar to people as the Rabbids, or some people don't like, as Rayman. But like, it's the obvious pick because New Super Mario Brothers could use a refresh because we had a couple of those games. Everyone's pretty familiar with what they are. Are the hardcore audience going to be excited if you announce another one? Everyone's going to make fun of it. I guarantee it. They'd still probably buy it in a lot of cases because it's Mario Brothers and hell. But it wouldn't hurt in my mind for a crossover to happen there. It wouldn't necessarily make me want to buy it, but like you said, like Mike, those Rayman games are freaking great. And if they brought that music and that kind of zany attitude to a Mario game, I mean, how did that work? How did that tonal combination work with the Rabbids battle game, Matt, that you played the hell out of, like the tactical game? What is it called? Mario Rabbids, whatever, whatever. Was there like a sense of zaniness to it? Was there the tone different than a typical Mario game, like in it?
I mean, I don't think that was like a Mario game at all. I just felt like it was its own unique genre,
Right.
Right. Yeah, like the Mario characters seemed in character. It was more like, here are the Mario characters, and here are these other characters around them that are acting differently than what you're used to seeing. So it's not like it's not like the core of their characters changed. It's just like, here are the Mario characters, and what the heck are these guys?
Yeah, because that's what they'd have to do. That's why I asked. That's what they have to do with Rayman, because Rayman always has that really like Looney Tunesy, goofy tone to it. Like, it's always like Rayman himself doesn't have a ton of personality in my mind. Like from the two games I played, he's just kind of like the everyman. But like everyone around him is like really animated, really kind of cartoony. I don't have the right words for it, but like I feel like, this sense of like silliness pervades, and then like you get into all the rock and roll levels and stuff like that, like all the musical moving levels that are especially prominent in the second.
Oh, I love those. Yeah, those Rayman Legends.
It's really over the top silly. Like there's that like sense of like a Saturday morning cartoon, like where it doesn't matter what's going on here. There's a rock and roll soundtrack playing, and you're running, and crazy shit is happening the whole time. It's not like there's no meaning or explanation to what's going on. It's just like, you're in a song, right now. You're in a song, run, and make the song happen or whatever. And I just that could work for Mario. I was just kind of curious, like how they handled it with Mario Rabbids, like because they had to isolate the two characters and keep them distinct, or they allowed Mario to get a little weirder or whatever. I don't know. You'd probably handle it. It would be a tricky thing to handle for a crossover for Rayman, but I mean, they could that could make sense for sure.
I guess they did take some liberties because there's like Pichu whips out a shotgun basically. It's
Okay.
kind of funny.
Okay.
But I mean, like, it's
Yeah.
not.
But I mean, there's
wasn't-
like Rayman
they
and
were-
Globix. Like,
they
that's
were,
all
like-
you really need.
They were like in character. It wasn't like, oh man, this is unexpected or off kilter. It was like, okay, this is believable.
Okay. Well, Matt, as the one asking the question, like I feel like I'm struggling to think of good ideas. Like, I mean, I know they handle Just Dance, and I could give a crap about Just Dance, but
Mario
I mean-
had his own Just Dance. Well, he had a Dance Dance Revolution, actually.
Oh, did he? I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually
They
one of the
actually
rarest
recalled it.
games you could ever get.
Why did
Really?
they recall
Like-
it?
Yeah,
Do you
I will.
remember?
Just Mario. I think it's just Mario Dance Mix. Yeah, I'll always be mad at my mom for not getting that for me. Like, that was like the
That's-
one game I wanted like super badly, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm not getting you that trash." And
Your mom was your
yeah,
editor.
yeah, dude. And then yeah, man, $400 later is now.
You can see them like Just Dance. Like Just Dance is such a big property. I know it's popular. They've been pounding them out for years. But it's like, oh well, what happened to Wii Fit is what I've been wondering lately. Like, is Wii Fit dead? Nobody's that question. You know, I'm like, oh, what if you had Just Dance cross Wii Fit? You know, just to bring back Wii Fit, like, or bring that property in somewhere. You know, like, and sell. But they're not going to do that because Just Dance is just like fine on its own. Basically, is my
Yeah.
impression. You know, so I think of that. I mean, like. You know, I don't know, man. Like, because a lot of Ubi's series are kind of serious, so that's why it's like a little hard to answer some of it. It's like, yeah, are you gonna have Assassin's Creed crossover with anything Nintendo? No, doesn't make
No.
any sense. Like, you know, it's like doesn't make any sense. Like, as Travis Touchdown, he can cross over. That I mean, he's Ubi, right?
No,
No, he's
Grasshopper.
Suda 51. Oh, Grasshopper.
yeah. Duh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
my
Suda
bad. Why am I
51.
thinking?
I know I said Suda. I was like, I thought you knew. I thought you loved Travis.
No, I do, but why am I thinking that Ubisoft publish it?
Nope.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Like, hang on a second. There's something in my brain that's like there's some connection there, and I know it's Suda, but no more heroes. I hate googling on the air, but I'm going to do it.
That's okay.
Publisher.
I'm doing it too.
Uh, it says it's
Marvelous
partly
published it.
Ubisoft.
Oh, in North America.
Says-
Okay. Yeah, you are right. I guess.
Really?
Well, I
the
mean, like
logo on the
Ubisoft
box.
didn't make it, but they
No, they didn't
basically
make
like
it.
they just published it.
They helped it come to market. Yeah,
Yeah.
like and that's always been a challenge for Grasshopper and like his studios because he's so small that it's like I can imagine that being a challenge where he's got to make partners like that. Like, yeah, it was developed by Grasshopper, published by Ubisoft in the U.S. Okay, that's what it says here. Anyway, somehow I remembered that. I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
I mean, like Nintendo always develops and publishes their own game, right? Like when they publish a game, like it does get some notoriety between. It's like, wow, Nintendo published this or some shit.
exactly. I
You
mean,
know?
like I wonder who's handling that for the new Assassin's Creed, No More Heroes. And then like Ubi, like I said, Ubi is so serious. There's so many other games like Watch Dogs. I really enjoyed Watch Dogs.
Oh yeah,
1.
watch. I did. I forgot.
But I mean, like, how do you cross Nintendo with that? Like, you don't. Period.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh
I mean,
no, yeah, Mario Watch Dogs. Nice.
you know what I mean? Like it's like there's just no room for a Nintendo character in it at all because most of Nintendo's characters are cartoony
Mhm.
and like more lighthearted in almost every case. Like,
Yeah,
what's
and
the
like I
most-
can't even like you can't put Samus because she's like post-apocalyptic future.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
she's in the outer space. Yeah, like I mean, like come on, she's on another planet. We don't even know if she's in Earth universe. Like she's somewhere else. She's like Matt, you asked the question. Did you have some like
Yeah.
secret answer to this question? Like besides like the ones we've already hammered on already, or stolen your answers?
So I do
mean,
have one thing to throw out, like one, I guess, answer to throw. But I will preface it by saying I do also think it's hard to come up with something, even though I came up with a question. Just because if you look at all the other games, it's mostly like Ubisoft thought of an idea or a game, and then somehow they pitched it to Nintendo, whatever, and basically it's a Ubisoft game and a Nintendo thing thrown into it. It's not necessarily like Ubisoft is making, a new Mario game or a Zelda or what have
Of course,
you.
right.
So
Right.
you have to
Right.
look at it from that perspective as well. But
Right.
I forget I was going to say something else.
What was your big pitch? Yeah, because I struggle with this. Like when you asked earlier, and I thought about it for a little while, and only came up with like an Animal Crossing joke.
and
I was
then,
like,
yeah.
I don't.
And then the other thing is that Nintendo kind of wants any other studios who handle their properties to do something different, not just like we're gonna make our version of your franchise or whatever. They're like, no, you're not. Like with Mario and Rabbids, he's like, yeah, you can use Mario, just do anything that isn't platforming.
Yeah,
Because
like I'm
we
going to
want
give
it
you
like
limits.
something different, obviously, and also
Why else?
they don't want them
Why
to
else hand
encroach
out
on
their
their own thing.
properties? That's so Nintendo. Like, why
Yeah.
else would we give you property?
Yeah,
Like, we
exactly.
can do it ourselves. We can do it ourselves if we want to. Like, if you want to pitch us like a really crazy idea to do with one of our characters, by all means, like tell us what we're not doing, you know, like, but don't tell us like, hey, we're gonna make a new Mario game and it's gonna be just like Mario.
Yeah,
It's
like
like, why?
you're not making a
Like,
Star
why?
Fox game, but that game would be cool with Star Fox in it. Here you go. So,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah,
how that works.
yeah,
but
totally. There you go. Yeah,
even
exactly.
even though I said that, I'm going against my own rule because it's really hard to think of something like that. Because I mean, it's hard to predict. Because it's like, who would have thought? Yeah, let's make an XCOM game where Rabbids and Mario are together for some reason.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
has to be like you have a
I
cool
would have been
idea
like, you guys
and
are
like
fucking idiots
work.
that you said that. I would have
Yeah.
made fun of anybody who said that a year ago, you know, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
It's
like
what-
that would have been not thinkable
Yeah,
at all.
because
We were like,
didn't start
"Oh,
off as
it's
like
over."
we want to, mix these two franchises. Like I have a cool idea for a game. How about
Right.
we also chuck in Mario or whatever? But anyway, I'm getting around the point. I didn't stick to that rule because it's really hard. You'd have to come up with a game concept and then work from there rather than franchise. But regardless, I'm thinking maybe the Mario and Rabbids team might make a 3D Donkey Kong game or something, because I don't think they're gonna do a sequel to Mario and Rabbids because they're doing the DLC, and I think that's where they'll probably end it off for now. But they're working with Donkey Kong a bit, and they got Grant Kirkhope back, and I'm thinking because the creator Davide Soliani really likes working with Grant Kirkhope. If you watch their Twitter, they go back and forth on each other. It's hilarious. But
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe they'll be like, oh man, we had so much fun doing this DK content, referencing 64 and all these other
what?
DK
DK
games.
and Rayman would work better. Sorry, that just came into my head.
Okay.
DK and Rayman would work way better.
Yeah.
All right, keep going on though.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
interested.
So yeah, I'm thinking maybe they'll like enjoy that so much, like, hey, we like working with this character and we have some experience working with this. What if we did I don't know, 3D Donkey Kong game, but it's a bit different. I don't think Nintendo's really going to revisit Donkey Kong in 3D. So I don't think it would really bugging things them. And I don't know about
I'd all for it.
Yeah, I don't know about that studio in particular, but one of the things Ubisoft does often, and you could argue if it's done well or not, are open world games. A lot of towers and side quests and things like that. I don't think it would be that huge, but they could probably use that experience and that engine to help them in some way, because like, hey, look, we've done all these games, we could totally do it. We have the talent and experience to do something like this. Maybe instead of climbing towers, you're climbing like palm trees, like really tall palm trees. I don't know. Or the Donkey Kong puzzles from the original
I'll take a
arcade
3D
game.
freaking.
I don't know.
I'll take a 3D Donkey Kong game by Ubisoft, or like I said, a 2D Donkey Kong Rayman, because they're kind of cartoony and like crazy in their own way.
Mhm. And they're both
Like, what if
animals.
they make the Donkey Kong Country like with Rayman, where it's that level of difficulty? Like, people would be pissed. They'd be like, the good thing about Rayman is that it's not this hard. Like, what the fuck?
It's just unique and fun. Like they had like the speed challenges, but you didn't have to do them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
It's nowhere near as hard as Donkey Kong Country. Like, I mean, that would be really interesting. Like, the Raymans invade the Donkey Kong Country. I mean, I don't know that we need another.
I don't want Rayman, damn it! Oh, Rabbids.
Okay.
I want Remember, Rayman and Rabbids are different. They just came into being because of my boy Ray.
And I was thinking Rayman platforming in a Donkey Kong game like would work, but I don't think I need another Donkey Kong Country game right now. To be honest with you, I feel like we've had a few of them.
Well, they just
it would be
ported
better-
one, so I don't think they would want to.
Right.
Plus, like, they had a
Right.
team like that actually worked on it, so I think they
Mhm.
would be like, well, we just we already have a team that does that, but
Right.
3D one, no one's gonna touch that shit because they only
Yeah,
did it
right.
once. So
And we don't have
that's
Rare
probably
to do
not
it for
likely
us.
either, but it could be
Right.
interesting regardless.
Yeah, I like seeing Donkey Kong maybe stretch a little bit
Mhm.
and get into like something different, like than another country game.
Yeah.
So I'd be fine with Ubi doing something different if it's an open world adventure 64 style throwback without. I've never played it because I've heard it's a collectathon of like a level of nothing else out there. Like everyone's like, oh, it's
What? There's so much in Donkey Kong 64. That's a damn
know.
lie.
No, that's what he's
I've
saying. He
heard
said
it's
there's
like
too
I've
much.
heard it's like intolerable. Yeah, I've heard it's intolerable. People are like, you can't even play it, even if you enjoyed it back in the day. You'll find it intolerable now when you try to play it because it's just too. So I've never played it as a result because everyone's like, yeah, it
They don't know shit. Alright, you should be playing
guys-
that game.
Say it. I think people on this podcast might have hinted at that before, but I'm not sure.
I would never say anything bad about Donkey Kong 64.
I know you're a fan. I mean, like, hey, I respect the nostalgia for something for sure. Like, I can completely get the idea that a collectathon, if it goes off the rails these days, would feel really dated. Where it would just be like, good lord, like, how many things do I need to pick up? You know,
well,
I mean,
you have
like,
to change between characters to pick up certain collectibles, so that's the big
Yeah.
problem.
that alone, yeah, holy crap! Like, I could see that being a little testing of the patience these days. But maybe someday I'll play it if there's a remake, or maybe I'll just get a copy of it for cheap somewhere and mess around with it over time, and then not get pissed off at it because I won't play it all at once. I'll just play it a little bit by a little bit or whatever. But yeah, I'd like to see DK do something else, and they haven't been afraid in the past to do kind of zany things with like DK Jungle Beat on GameCube is freaking awesome.
I love that game.
With the congas, it's freaking amazing game. Like, it is so much fun. If you've never played it, get the physical congas and play it on a GameCube or on a Wii with GameCube adapter ports. Because I loved that game when I played it as an adult. I was like, this is so fun and hilarious. I mean, Donkey Konga, like a proto rhythm game. It's not very deep, but it's funny as hell to play with your friends when you're drunk. I don't say it because I know that from experience at all. I don't even know. Like, they're not afraid to like use DK in different unique ways, going down the Donkey Kong Country road. So, Ubisoft, I don't know. Again, it's like tough to imagine this crossover stuff. Like for me, because I'm looking at a list of their games here, and I'm like laughing. I'm like, Donkey Kong making a special appearance in Watch Dogs. That would be amazing. Completely makes sense. New Donk City, Watch Dogs 3. Like, come on, it'll be great. Like, it'll make total sense. But yeah, I don't know because Nintendo doesn't have a lot of characters that fit in their games in general. They have a lot of dark worlds. Like when you read through a list of their games, they have a lot of dark worlds and then a couple zany ones. The Smurf Dance Party, and then you got like all these like real dark, like kind of heavy set games, or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. Ubisoft is a powerhouse of gaming. It can't hurt to have them support Switch. I'd be down. I really wish they would bring another like a Splinter Cell to Switch, because I would buy it in a heartbeat, because I know other people might be tired of that series if they played it too much, but I loved the one I played and I would gladly play more. So, but that's a port. That's more like a port situation than a crossover. So
yeah. All right, so I think we'll about wrap it up there for this week. You can find me at the Mango Viking on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Source Gaming. And actually, by the time this launches, I will be doing a Paladin stream on Source Gaming. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check that out and watch me fail, because the last time I played it was for 15 minutes at E3. So hopefully I'll play it before I embarrass myself on stream.
Nice.
So now, are you paying the paid version of this, or are you paying what is going to be? Isn't there a free version of that game coming? I'm a little confused by all that.
So
no. Okay, so the game is normally free to play on PC, but you have to pay now if you want it on Switch.
Yeah,
but Matt has that game.
Yeah, so it's $30 on Switch now. In like a month or so, it'll be free on Switch. But if you played at E3, they just give you a code that you can just get the full thing.
Great. Okay, cool. So you're going to play it and review it, the paid version of it now, giving us a preview. So that's excellent. And we can definitely hear about that on the show next week, or see your stream of it on Source Gaming.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And Mike, where can people find you?
Hi guys, you can find me at Troy Fullbuster on Twitch or Gaming Eye Live on YouTube, and then yeah, you do that. Find your boy. He exists.
Nice.
He lives. Alright.
Nice.
And
Nice.
Unoclay, where can people find you?
Oh, I've been putting up. I'm working on a big video for my channel. Very big, aspirational, insane video I'm working on for my YouTube channel, Unoclay Gaming. I put up a really janky old video last week of some Atari footage that actually got a bunch of people from an Atari message board reaching out to me, which was funny. Because there's a small enough community for people that are like into old, like I'm particularly into Atari 5200, which is like the black sheep of the Atari family, like even among like Atari heads, like, and so it's a system with a lot of flaws, but it was actually a really great system. It just had really janky controllers, and we've been able to solve that as adults, but the damage was done years ago. But I put up a ridiculous video of a let's play of me and a friend playing a soccer game on there. I got funny feedback in various forms for that, and I'm Unoclay _switch on on the tweets, where you can hear me make pithy comments about my weapon collection in Zelda, or well, that's probably about it lately. So, one tweet a week. That's my rule. One tweet a week.
Gosh. Oh man.
Not really, but I try not to do. I try not to blather. You know, blathering is what I do on the podcast. So.
All right. So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on every platform on the internet. Hit us up with your questions, if you're interested in being a guest at Just Another Castle, or me directly at the Manga Viking. So until the next time, leave luck to the heavens and leave gaming to Nintendo.